Happy Thursday. I just wanted to come on here really quick because if you guys have been watching me lately, since beginning of summer, I was doing these 2-minute testimonies and they never were 2 minutes. So I gave up on that. And I'm kind of going back to what I was doing several years ago, probably about 6 years ago, when I was still working in the corporate position that I was in, and I would get a word when I would leave work and just pop on because I knew that at least one person needed to hear it, because I really didn't want to do Facebook Lives, and still it's not my favorite thing to do, guys. But when I am prompted and I know that maybe this will impact one person, I do it because it's beyond me, right? So when I was driving today to an appointment, I heard in my spirit, common sense makes sense. And I think that it's really cool that I'm actually wearing the sweatshirt that says "Get Used to Different" that I got like 4 years ago. That is from The Chosen. And I'm going to be preaching to myself here today, because common sense is common, right? So if we think about things that make sense, it's analytical. It's things that, 1 + 1 is 2, right? That's common sense. In the kingdom, 1 × 1 is exponential. In the world, 1 × 1 is just 1. And for any of you who have been on a wild adventure, such as I have been, aka leaving a safe and secure job 2 years ago, and really being on this trust fall journey with the Lord that a lot of times doesn't make sense. Not only does it not make sense to me sometimes, but it doesn't make sense to many people around me. So, with that being said, a lot of people, well-meaning people, they want you to kind of fall under the common sense bracket, the common sense pathway, rather than the doesn't make sense pathway. Because if you look in the Bible, in many stories, I was thinking about Noah this morning. He built a boat in the desert. Does that make sense? In the natural? Look at all this fun stuff I've got going on here. It's very fancy. Does that make sense to you? And yet. So if you are building a boat in the desert, keep going. Anybody building a boat in the desert? I am. I'm building things. I'm sitting with the Lord, putting things out there that He's calling me to create and build for women so that they can be set free from the cages and to fully soar with new wings in their calling, and to roar, to get out of the cage like a lion and roar with their voice. There are times in this calling that I'm fully uncaged to be able to walk in that things don't make sense. Let's just give an example. When I left the job, and there were so many confirmations that I won't get into today, you can go listen to my podcast about being freed and delivered. It's a very, very, very surface level story, testimony about leaving the job. I saw broken chains on the road, and that was one of my biggest confirmations, because there was a whole story behind that, and I did share a little bit about that in the podcast. But when you have a promise, I feel like Sarah sometimes, like I'm pregnant with purpose, right? I'm pregnant with this calling that He's given me. I feel like Harriet at times, like I've been set free, and now I want to go back and set free others. But there's this chasm sometimes that doesn't make sense, and it's the waiting period. It's the chasm between knowing that there's a lot of women out there that need what I have to offer, and then the fulfillment of that, and not seeing the fulfillment just yet. So if you have a business and or ministry, and you're like me, you have full-on faith that the Lord is going to provide, He's going to provide for your family. He is going to show off and show up. It makes me emotional sometimes because, like I said, it's been a wild ride, and I am called to walk alongside the wild ones. I'm called to walk alongside the ones who are willing to take faith jumps, faith risks. And honestly, it's been hard to find those. I know a lot of wild ones. I do. I know a lot of wild ones. But like I said, for some reason, there's this chasm, and especially this month, it's like, well, I'm just going to wait until the new year to start walking into my calling. I just hit my phone down. That was fun. Or to start using my voice. It's like, well, why wait? Why would you wait to start doing the thing that God's calling you to do? So that's what I want to share today. I feel like this common sense makes sense. So a lot of times people who are more analytical, that's actually like I would say that was my created bend. And I think more so we've been constructed in the system, whether it's the school system or even families sometimes have kind of taught you to look for the tangibles, to look for the things that make sense, the analytical side of like, okay, if you don't see it, then why believe it, right? But I have been on such a faith journey, and it sometimes comes through loss. It comes through letting go of things. It comes through surrendering. And this common sense makes sense. So sometimes people are going to try to make sense. They're going to actually try to strive to make sense of something so that they can see something tangibly in their hands, but it could be an Ishmael. I'm just saying. So we need to get really clear, and that's where I get this amazing privilege to come alongside women and help them get really clear, like with Holy Spirit, because a lot of times when we look in the mirror, and I am proof as well, I need a coach, I need a mentor. And if you don't know what a coach is, please reach out to me. There's a lot of connotations out there. I'll just put it out there. I'm a prophetic coach. I will help dig the gold. I am going to be a locksmith to help unlock those locks that have been keeping you in your cage. It's been happening the last 6 years. It's a beautiful process. I got the privilege to come alongside another of my clients on, what day was it? Tuesday night? And to help make sense, quote unquote, of what maybe doesn't make sense. But it's through faith. It's through sitting back and having conversations. And I get the privilege to ask these powerful questions that we often don't ask ourselves. I don't ask myself. I mean, I ask myself powerful questions sometimes too, but if you're more of a verbal processor and you're somebody who recognizes, oh, wow, I just got breakthrough by having a conversation with somebody, I think you need to reach out to me. I'm just going to put that out there. I am ready for massive open doors in 24. And I believe that there are doors for you as well, but you got to get off the sidelines. You've got to take a faith step. You've got to get up and put your combat boots on and get used to different. Get used to being different, because if you're going to try to fit in with the common people who want everything to make sense, it's not going to be an adventure with the Lord because that's what he's calling us to. And if you want to get on this adventure train with me, let me know. Obviously, you don't have to. I'm out here, putting out encouragement to you. I'm putting out podcast episodes to you because my heart is to bring hope. I'm a hope igniter. My heart is for you to be encouraged, to be exhorted, to help you go forward. That's my heart. That's why I come on here. Some days I don't feel like it, but 99% of the days, it is so exhilarating and so exciting to try to help you move forward. I'm freely doing that through the Facebooks. But can you imagine like having somebody to come alongside you in your back pocket to help you move forward? I mean, it's not about you, because like I said the other day on my Facebook Live, the choices you make are generational. there's generational implications, and it's beyond you. So if you yourself are just sitting on the sidelines, but you're being called to the front lines, but there's fear, there's things holding you back. Maybe you don't even know what the front lines are or what front lines you're supposed to be called to. That grieves my heart. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So get used to different. As you guys know, I'm very different. I gladly will tell people that. I have come to a place in my life that I'm going to be 46 on Saturday, which is crazy. If you didn't see my post earlier, I'm doing a fun little 75 hole special as well. The Lord gave me that download last year, another, boat in the desert. If you guys have heard of 75 Hard, the program that is all about striving, and at least that's how I see it. So there's that. I'm just saying. And this program that he downloaded to me is all about, it's a grace-based approach to wellness. It's foundational. And even if you think you got it all together, you don't. Just saying. I don't have it all together, but I do know that this program has helped many gals who took part in it this last year that it's been around, and I'm doing something crazy with the price. So if you hear this today and you want to go back and look at it, I think Facebook's probably suppressing. I don't know. Either that or there's not a whole lot of interest, and that's okay too. I'm going to keep putting things out there, just like Noah, and I'm going to keep building and moving forward, and I encourage you to do the same. So no giving up here. I will talk to you soon. I've got somewhere to head on to in a Zoom in a little bit, but you guys know how to reach me. Again, if for some reason you need somebody to come alongside you, I'm going to put my link in the comments, and we will go from there.